Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today I'm going to be taking a look at what is currently the final class available within the Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access, which is also the last one to have been released, which is Bard. I don't have a lot of experience with the class. I started a playthrough as a Bard. It seems okay. I think it feels fairly unique amongst the classes in that combat is not really where you shine. You know, you can do damage, but really, primarily, it feels like you're geared around helping others to shine. And being a bit of an everyman in terms of skills and skill checks and stuff, a bit of a jack of all trades. I think you might even get a feat for free that's called that very thing, but let's find out. So, this is, as it started up, it's preloaded to Barbarian, so all this is going to change. But we're going to choose our background. Our highest skills are going to, or abilities rather, are going to be Dexterity and particularly Charisma. So we want to kind of pick a background that plays into that a bit. Charlatan can work, Charisma linked to Deception and Sleight of Hand to Dexterity. So that actually is a very, very good choice and possibly the one we'll be taking. Could argue for Criminal, perhaps. Entertainer is good. You get the Performance, Proficiency and the Acrobatics. Performance can be good because you can, when you're playing your instrument, you can sort of attract NPCs away and gather around you, and it can sort of help other maybe sneakier party members to maybe go in and get into a building they're not supposed to get into, or pick a lock they're not supposed to, with everyone kind of looking in your direction as the distraction. So that's pretty good. I think those are probably the main ones. I'm actually going to go Charlatan for the Deception and Sleight of Hand. That feels pretty good. As for the race, there's a couple of choices. Again, we want to kind of look at the Charisma side of things. So something like a Lightfoot Halfling can be good. You get the Dex +2 plus Charisma +1. You're lucky. So you, if you roll a 1, you can actually re-roll that, and you have to take the second result. But to be honest, if your first result's a 1, I mean, the only way's up, really, isn't it? Brave, you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Naturally stealthy. So we're also proficient in stealth checks. So that's a pretty solid choice, I think, to be honest. Drow. Similar, really. Dex +2, Charisma +1. The benefits of taking a Drow is something like Keen Senses, where you're proficient in perception checks. I think quite often as the main character, you're going to be at sort of the head of the group moving about, so you know you're the first one who's going to have a chance to spot traps and secrets and that sort of thing. Superior Dark Vision is also nice, having sort of double the range on Dark Vision that the other races have. And Fey Ancestry, so we can't be put to sleep, and we have saving throws against being charmed. So again, a very solid choice. Could make a good argument for that. There's Tiefling, which does get Charisma +2. The thing to point out here is Intelligence +1. Intelligence is going to be a little bit of a dump stat for us, so that's almost like a wasted stat. And I'm loath to kind of go towards Half-Elf again. I feel like half the videos have gone onto Half-Elf, but if it's the best class for the job, that's what it is. Not quite sure if there's any benefit to picking others. Maybe something like Wood Half-Elf, because then you're getting the extra movement speed. Again, we're getting the proficiency in stealth here, which is nice. We've still got the Fey Ancestry, Dark Vision. But with Half-Elf, you get Charisma +2, and then a further 2 ability points you can put into wherever you want. So I'm going to put them into Dexterity, and I would think probably Constitution as well. There we go. Going to go on to class, where obviously we're going to be picking Bard. So a few things to note about the Bard class. We get 2 free cantrips. Let's have a quick look at those. It's given us Vicious Mockery, and this is one we'll take. This is quite nice for an action. Remember, this is cantrip, so no spell slots required. We can unleash a string of enchanted insults at a creature. And as I understand it, Larian has put something like, is it 97 different insults into the game? So, you know, your Bard character, when you cast this, your Bard character actually will launch an insult at the enemy. And that enemy then will receive a small amount of damage, and then get disadvantage on its next attack throw. I think that might be a wisdom save on that. Blade Ward, I think we might get rid of, and we might bring in something more like... Not sure here, really. You could probably make an argument for friends, thematically speaking. Minor Illusion might be fun. You could, again, you can use that to distract creatures and lure them away from somewhere. Mage Hand, maybe. I'm going to go for Minor Illusion. Might be fun. Then we can put in some spells. So it's given us Dissonant Whispers, and this is good. This is our sort of single target damage spell. Good range, 18 meters. You're going to whisper a discordant melody to a creature. It takes 3d6 psychic damage, so up to 18 damage, and becomes frightened. So it's going to use all its actions to run away from you when it's frightened. So that's pretty nice. Heroism has been pre-selected, and again, this is one we're going to take. You can cast this either on yourself or an ally, and whoever gets affected by the spell can't be frightened and gains 5 temporary hit points each turn. And it's that each turn part of this that is worth mentioning, because say that you've got 18 hit points, you've got this on you, so you've got a total of 23, 5 of them are temporary, and you get hit for 6 damage. So you'll be down to 17 hit points, and you'd lose the temporary hit points. But then on your next turn, you'll gain those 5 temporary hit points back. So you'll have a total of 22 hit points. And it'll keep happening each round that you'll get these 5 temporary hit points back. So it actually can, over a few rounds of combat, can add up to quite a lot of, not heals, but, extra sort of health bar that enemies have to churn through to actually affect your core HP. So it's a very nice spell, that. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. This is quite good. Assuming that the creature fails its check, they get infected by fits of laughter, they end up prone, and until whenever it takes damage, it will sort of shake out of it, but it's kind of out for the count, really, until such time as it takes damage. It can also try and shake off the effect at the end of each turn. So if it fails its check, at least one round it's going to be down on the ground. Worth pointing out, this is a concentration spell, as is Heroism, and you can only have one concentration spell active at a time. So it's just something that's worth pointing out. But I might even deselect Ashes, and I might select Thunderwave, which is just a very good sort of AoE spell. And then we've got Healing Word, which is nice. It's a ranged heal bonus action. And being a ranged heal, you can actually, if a party member's been knocked out, they're on the ground, you can cast this from range and get them back on their feet. So that's like a ranged mini revive, if you like. So that's very good. This is a nice selection of spells to start with. As a bard, we get a starting instrument. The only thing that really this affects is, or the different instruments affect, is your casting animation. As a bard, when you're casting a spell, they'll whip out their instrument, as it were, and sort of be playing that to cast a spell. So I quite like the lute. Like you're sort of rocking out on a guitar. That might just be me. You can have a lyre, you can have a violin, flute, or a drum. It's really your choice, and you can find other instruments within the game. You're not locked into this initial choice by any means. Other class features. Got some Dex and Charisma saving throw proficiencies, which is nice. They're already going to be our highest abilities. Light armor proficiency, that's good because we're going to have high Dex, so we want to. I think medium armor, you'd be locked into like a +2 bonus, Dex bonus on that. But if you've got light armor on, then you add your entire Dex modifier to your armor class, which is good. Simple weapon proficiency, hand crossbow proficiency, that's probably going to be our main ranged go-to in terms of weaponry. Longsword we won't be using because we're going to be going off Dex rather than Strength, but rapier proficiency is nice, as is short sword, because we'll be using... Certainly you can find a short sword fairly early in the game, I think, but rapier probably once you reach the first merchants at the Druid's Grove. But that'll be our go-to weapon once we can get one, because that rapier's damage is a D8, whereas short sword is D6, so it's just a bit better. And finally, actions, Bardic Inspiration. So we can do this, I think it's set to 3 times per long rest. And what you can do is you can cast this on an ally, and until their next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, they can choose to add a D6 bonus to any of those. And we'll see how it appears, but basically in their little hotbar at the bottom, they'll get a new pane with 3 icons on it, and there'll be an icon for attack roll, an icon for ability check, or an icon for saving throw. And what they would do, they would highlight the one that they want to use your Bardic Inspiration dice on. I guess probably most often it'll be on their next attack roll. And so yeah, on the next attack roll they'll add a d6 to damage. Is it damage or... No, it's to hit. So a d6 on their chance to hit on their next attack. Have a look at skills. As a bard, we get a pretty wide choice of what we can choose from. Remember, Dex and Con are going to be, Dex and Charisma are going to be our highest abilities. One quick note here. I think it's at level 3. I'm going to go down the Lore Bard route, and if you do, at level 3, you'll automatically get proficiencies in Arcana, Intimidation, and Sleight of Hand. Which actually makes me wonder if we change our background, because we're going to be getting that anyway. I might go back and amend that. Hang on. So if we go from Charlatan to... Oh, where was Entertainer? What I might do is I might take this, so we've got Acrobatics and Performance, and then in our skills, I'm going to unselect Intimidation, because as I said, we're going to get that and Sleight of Hand at level 3 anyway. We've got Stealth from Race, Performance from Background, Persuasion we're going to take, and Deception. So from level 3 we'll have proficiency in all our conversation skills there. And as for the other one, it's kind of your choice. I'll probably go for Perception though, even though that's on Wisdom. Our Wisdom won't be particularly high, but again, we're going to want to be making those kind of trap and secret area searches as we're going around. We won't be particularly skilled at that, but we'll have a better chance if we take it. That's just my choice. As I said, it's up to you what you prefer to go for there. Abilities now. So our Charisma is already maxed out for the character creator, having taken the half elf. We're going to drop Intelligence right down. Strength's already right down. We're going to get Dex up to 16, and we could... Thinking, is it worth doing Con, or whether just to get our Intelligence up to 10, or even Strength up to 10? I don't know. The fact is, at this point of the character creator, you're going to have an extra 2 points to kind of put where you want. Strength could be worth it. 1, to make sure that our jump distance is a little longer for getting around on the battlefield, and 2, as kind of the main character, you're going to be probably, unless you want to sort of fiddle around changing characters all the time, opening a lot of the chests, doing a lot of the looting. Particularly with a high charisma, you're going to be the guy or girl, who's getting better prices from merchants. So really you're going to have all the stuff you want to sell in your inventory when you get to a merchant. And if you've got Strength 8, you'll find that you can't carry a whole lot, and you're quite often having to sort of use your other party members as inventory mules. But if we bump that up to 10, it just means we can carry a little bit more. But, maybe you could bump Wisdom up and get a bit of extra Wisdom on those perception checks. That could be worth doing. Moving that to 15. I can't remember if 14 to 15 gives you increased HP. I feel it might just be 16. But I want Dex up high. So, I don't know, for the sake of argument, I'm going to go Strength +2, but don't feel you have to follow that. Put those last 2 points where you want. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to level this bard up to levels 2, 3, and 4. Right, so here we are at level 2, and as mentioned earlier, at this point we get the Jack of all Trades class feature. And what this means is that... we're going to be a lot more proficient in all skills checks. Add half of your proficiency bonus, rounded down, to ability checks that you're not proficient in. And I think our proficiency character creation was 2, so I think we'll get an extra +1 on all our skill checks, which is pretty cool. We can add a spell at this point. There are some that are good. I'm tempted to take Sleep, just because Tasha's Hideous Laughter, while good, is the concentration spell, whereas Sleep is not. So let's take that. And that's level 2. Here we're at level 3, and this is where we get to choose our subclass, which is quite cool. But first of all, we get to choose to double our proficiency bonus on a couple of chosen proficiencies. And this is really up to you. What I will probably do is go for Persuasion and maybe Stealth. It is quite nice to go into combat and get a sort of stealthy shot off before it starts up in earnest. Or Perception, you can make an argument for as well. But Stealth linked to our Dexterity skill is going to be quite good, because we're going to be +7 modifier on Stealth checks now, which feels pretty good. Now the subclasses. I'm going to go down the College of Law route, which basically is more of a pure spellcaster or ranged fighter. College of Valor, meanwhile, because it gives you things like medium armor proficiency, shield proficiency, and martial weapon proficiency, as well as this combat inspiration, which means that you can give allies a bonus dice to add damage to their. They can also choose to add a +6 bonus to their 1d6 bonus damage to their next weapon attack, or they can choose to have a +4 armor class for the next incoming attack. So this is very much a more martial route. Maybe if you want to go down a more melee fighter route, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and keep it sort of more of a spellcaster, as I said, and go down this College of Law route. And what you get here is you get this cutting words, and this is quite nice. This is a reaction. I don't know if the reaction system is sort of fully implemented at this point, or at all implemented, but what it basically means is it's a free action at this stage of the early access, at least. It doesn't cost you an action, doesn't cost a bonus action. It's basically free. It does cost you a bardic inspiration, and as mentioned, we got 3 of those per. I'm going to say long rest. I'd have to check that. And what it does, the creature that you cast it on receives a D6 penalty to attack rolls, ability checks, and damage they deal until the start of your next turn. So basically, it's kind of the opposite of a bardic inspiration, if you like. It targets enemies and it imposes, takes away their ability to hit you and do damage. So that's cool. We also get to take a new spell. It's given us Phantasmal Force here, which we'll probably end up taking. So what this does, it inflicts a 1d6 psychic damage at the start of a creature's turn, and then each turn from then on, it's a concentration spell, so as long as you keep it up, it's 10 turns worth of psychic damage. D6 each turn, unless they... I think it's an intelligence check. I think they can, at the end of each of the creature's turns, they can try and overcome the spell. So, but if they don't, I mean, some enemies have very low intelligence, very low chance of actually shaking that off. Then yeah, that's good. We've already dealt with Cloud of Daggers in, I think, our Wizard and possibly Sorcerer Guide. I can't quite remember. Definitely a couple of the previous ones, and it's a very, very good spell that we'd probably take at level 4 if we get the chance. But for now, let's take Phantasmal Force, and there we go. That's level 3. Here at level 4, we get an extra spell to 2 slot unlocked, so we probably will take that Cloud of Daggers that we mentioned. We get another cantrip. It really wants us to take Blade Ward. I'm not inclined to do so. Maybe something like Mage Hand. I can think of a few times where that might just be useful. Not in combat, obviously, but outside of it. As for a second level 2 spell... Ooh, Shatter's good, though. Maybe we'll take Shatter, because again, this isn't a concentration spell. So I think this is AoE damage. 3d8. It might be quite a small AoE, but it is AoE, and it can do 3 to 24 damage, 3d8 damage. And even on a successful save, the creatures will still take half damage on that. So it is just a very nice one to have that. So we'll go with that. Here we go down. We can improve our ability scores here. So what we're going to do is improve Charisma, now 18. And the other point is really where you want to put it. In Creation, for example, if you took your con up to 15, maybe you'd make it to 16 now. Not sure, but wherever you want to put that second point, that's your choice. I'll leave it on Dex there, that's fine for me. And when we come back, we're going to see how this bar gets on in combat. We're going to go into this ruins area and aggro these enemies. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is just get the heroism going on Lae'zel here. I'm also going to move Lae'zel in first, maybe to kind of take the heat initially. Why are you coming back out?
Objective
Here we go.
noted.
You'll die a bloody pauper and then... Or is it the ship you're after?
Okay, so here we go. We're going second. Mage is putting on the mage armor. And now it's us. So, what could we do here? Got some options. We could Thunderwave this guy off here, maybe. Hopefully kill him with the fall and the damage that we can do. That's looking like a pretty good option, to be fair. Maybe as a bonus action, let's give Lae'zel Bardic Inspiration for her go. And then we'll come here. And we'll Thunderwave this guy off. At least that's the plan. I notice the animation here is always pretty cool for the Bard on their spells. There he goes. How much do we do? Did quite a lot. And then we can cut, because this is a free action, we can come in with the cutting words. It does use a bardic inspiration, but the enemy would receive that penalty to attack rolls, ability checks, etc. that we spoke about. So who do we want to do it to? Either one of them has got a 100% chance to affect them. So let's do Gimblebot here. And we'll just play a little ditty while we wait for our next turn. Right, that'll do for now. Of course they come for us. Break the concentration. Right, now Lae'zel. So, here we go. We can say that she wants to do it for her next... These are toggleable. So we've toggled on for the next attack. And I guess we're going to attack this guy because he's quite irritating. Let's do that. There we go. Is there a combat log? Oh no, here. I was going to say, here's the combat log. So, what was the roll? Don't think it tells us what the actual dice roll was. Never mind. Took the attack of opportunity, which is great, obviously. Let's use Pommel Strike to try and daze this fighter. There we go, dazed him. Alright, this is not going too well. Let's try something like Shatter then. We can actually affect both of these. Hopefully get a kill at least on the archer. He actually saved. Killed the mage, which was good. We could try the Cutting Whispers again. We'll probably move so we're out of his range of effect as well. Let's first of all, bonus action, we'll heal ourselves. And then we'll come over here.
Another step forward.
And let's do Cutting Whisper. He's dazed, so let's do Cutting Whispers again on Gimblebot here. And that's our turn. Lae'zel's back. I think I'm just going to heal her and then see what our Bard can do next time. So here am I. See, we could do a Dissonant Whispers. What's that then? Cutting Words, isn't it? Yeah, we could do that and possibly kill one of these. Oh, he's very low on health, isn't he? If we were to do a Thunder Wave, we could maybe hit both of them and hopefully kill off this first fighter. There we go. And then we'll throw... Is that the level 2 spell slot? Okay, well let's save our level 2 spell slots for now. I think we'll be fine. That archer's really annoying, isn't he? Let's just use Rally to keep us in the fight a bit longer. Oh, wow. Old Gimblebot. So we're out of superiority dice. We're running out of spells quite rapidly as well. What's he on? He's only on 5. Let's try the Phantasmal Force then. Only 36% chance to hit. Why is that? Because we're threatened? Are we? Don't feel like we are. %. Huh. Well, I'm not going to risk that. Let's try the Vicious Mockery. 36%. All our cast spells are 36%. Why is that? Do I really want to take a 36%? I'm going to just do another Thunder Wave. Try not to kill Lae'zel. Let's actually come back this way. Do it now. Alright. Let's just keep Lae'zel there. So we've got annoying ranger over there. We could... What we can do? That's 60%, that's a bit better. Or we could try the distant whispers, perhaps, for a big damage. 65, let's give that a go. And he's out of the fight. So there we go. So you have it. That's a little sort of taster of what the Bard is like here in action. You know, you've got the Bardic inspiration and so on, which is all pretty fun. So yeah, give it a go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that was useful. If it was, then please do hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. That's it for our Baldur's Gate 3 class guides, but I hope to see you again on the channel for more content. Bye for now.